Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat?
Third down and 9. Dalton heaves this one downfield. It is caught and taken in by Olave for a Saints touchdown. 52 yards.
It's out on Fox TV. Chris Olave, 52-yard touchdown reception from Andy Dalton. The Saints do, in fact, beat the Rams 27-20. So it was nice. Look, man, well, it's been a rough season for New Orleans, obviously. We came into this season with high expectations. Many of us thought they'd be a playoff team. I certainly thought they would be. A combination of injuries and poor play, poor coaching has led them to be a team that is going to be on the outside looking in, sort of looking for the future, and ominously because of your lack of draft capital, but still looking for good moments when you can find them. And yesterday was one. So the Saints beat the Rams 27-20. I know full and well Matthew Stafford left the game, and you beat a team that had Bryce Perkins playing quarterback. Bryce Perkins went 5 of 10 in the football game for like 64 yards. So I do understand that, but it's a pro football game. There is a next man up mentality. Someone goes out, the next person is expected to perform, and the Rams couldn't do that. The Saints did on Sunday. So the Saints beat the Rams 27-20, and they moved to 4-7 on the season. A couple of things, and I would say this: definitely enjoy the win. And it's a tough spot. Sort of emotionally for Saints fans right now, because wins have been hard to come by. And we are so accustomed, and have been accustomed now for more than a decade, to thinking this team is going to be in the playoffs, is going to be competing for something of significance at the end of the season. And in particular, really the last half decade when the Saints have been in win now, go for broke mode at the end of the Drew Brees era, and then carrying on into this year, where they have been willing to forfeit and leverage their future to win now. And so when you're sitting here 11 games into the season at 4-7, knowing full well that you have no chance of winning this year, and you also can't really, for lack of a better phrase, tank, because you don't have a first-round pick, and there's no sense in doing it. You're just handing the best team in the NFL, in the NFC, the Eagles, an even higher draft pick. You'd like to see the team win, but you're sort of conflicted as to what you're actually cheering for at this point, because you're not going to salvage anything this year, and losing doesn't do you any good because it's not going to increase your lot in the draft. So you'd really like to see the team find a way to play better and win some games and play for the future and to learn what you can about this team. But in the meantime, just enjoy Sundays. So the hard part is just allowing Sunday to exist in a vacuum where the Saints won a football game, and you're not worrying about what it means for the big picture in the future. The thing I will tell you, so compartmentalize that. Understand, let Sunday exist in a vacuum. Enjoy it for what it was. You got to see the Saints play well on both sides of the ball and win a game, and that's fun. But when you pull back and you take the 10,000-foot view, the thing that you have to understand is Sunday was not a steady glow. It was a glimmer. If you're trying to say, hey, look, man, they looked awesome on Sunday. They beat the Rams. Dalton was super efficient, 21-25 for 260 and 3 touchdowns. Andy Dalton, maybe that's the thing that's going to swing the pendulum back, and he'll finally start playing consistently. And they got Taysom Hill involved, and boy, that looked dynamic. And boy, look how good Olave was. And you got Jarvis Landry back, and the defense held up great. You put up 323 yards of total offense. You could say all of that and hope that that's a sign of things to come. And I'm here to tell you flatly, it's not. I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer. I'm not trying to tinkle in your Cheerios. I'm not trying to rain on your parade or any of that stuff. We are 11 games into this season, and we know what Andy Dalton is. We know what this Saints team is. That would be the same narrative that we heard after the Saints beat the Seahawks. Remember, open the season, you rally against Atlanta, gung-ho, could it be? Then you lose to the Bucs, you go on the road, disappointing against the Panthers, you turn the ball over against Minnesota, and you lose that one in London. You come home and beat the Seahawks and think, all right, maybe they found something here. Maybe they found something. and the division was playing so badly at the time, you realize 2 games in 5 days, man, you could be back above 500 and leading the division. And they gagged it away at home against the Bengals. And on a short week, went to the Cardinals, 2 pick sixes, an interception in the end zone. You lose 2 games in 5 days. For all intents and purposes, it's over. They come home and play the Raiders. They blank them 24-0. And it was the same thing. Oh, maybe they found it now. Look, it was disappointing. You could explain away all of the shortcomings prior. And you say, look, inexplicably, right there, you go beat Baltimore on Monday Night Football at home, and you're back tied for first place in the division. And you played your worst game of the season and lost 27-13. And then you went to Pittsburgh and scored 10 points. And you were 3-7. I mean, so we've just seen it before with this team. Like, y'all, in the NFL, everyone knows the adage, any given Sunday. And it's true. These are all professional football players. And on any given Sunday, a professional football team can beat another professional football team. That's why, like, it's so rare when you see it was the 2008 Lions that went 0-16. You just don't see teams go winless because anybody can beat anybody on a given day. And that's true. Anyone can win a game in the NFL. But good teams win consistently in the NFL. And the Saints are not a good team. So just like whenever we kind of had that good feeling after they beat Seattle and lost twice in 5 days, and it was deflating. And then they beat the Raiders, and we're looking around going, look, mathematically it's crazy, but you're right there. You're a game out. And then you lose back-to-back games and look terrible doing it. And now you win at home against the Rams without Matt Stafford, without Cooper Kupp, and your offense looks pretty good, and you're thinking maybe this could be the start of something. Now you got to go on the road to San Fran, and then the next week you're in Tampa, who is playing for the division title in the playoffs. You're going to play 2 playoff teams in consecutive weeks on different coasts. And I'm here to tell you it's not going to go well for the Saints the next 2 weeks. It's the same pattern that happens when you're a bad football team. So enjoy the win. Understand that isn't a sign of really good things in the future. Because if you're wanting Andy Dalton benched last week, and today you're like, hey, stick with Andy Dalton. No, like that's not how it works. Andy Dalton didn't drink from the fountain of youth yesterday. He had a nice day. And there are nice days. There are glimmers. It's a flash of what he once was in his career when he was a really good quarterback. But overall, he can't do that consistently, which is why he's not going to be a starter in the NFL anymore. And it's why it's still going to be more important for the Saints. Look, if you want to commit to Taysom, he got way more involved. Great. You want to go back to Jameis to figure out what you have there? Okay. But don't open yourself up emotionally thinking Andy Dalton all of a sudden is going to be a good quarterback again because he's not. We did see a lot of Taysom Hill yesterday, which where has that been? Obviously, he's your most versatile player. That's not even debatable. He is your most versatile player. The fact that it's taken this long to get him that involved is perplexing. And I think is a reflection of the coaching staff not utilizing the best weapon they have at that point. Dennis Allen said, this is number 5, after the game, like that, yeah, I mean, it was structure they intended to get Taysom that many touches.
No, the plan going in was to get Taysom involved. As a matter of fact, I think Andy got a little frustrated throughout the week that we had so many plays where Taysom was in at the quarterback position. But that's the great thing about our group. You know, our group just wants to win, and they'll do whatever they have to do to try to win. And that was something that we felt gave us a good chance this week, and our guys went out and executed it.
Yeah, first of all, I don't care if Andy Dalton's frustrated that Taysom got more touches because Andy Dalton's not that good. So whatever the Saints can do to supplement this offense to help it win, it needs to do. And the fact that Taysom Hill hasn't been more involved is perplexing. Chris Olave had a great day. He's awesome. At this point, we all know that. That's not even debatable. He's third right now at DraftKings as far as odds for Rookie of the Year. And wouldn't surprise me one bit if he has a great finish to the season and wins Rookie of the Year. Kenneth Walker and Dameon Pierce right now have the best odds, and Chris Olave is third. But a question that we're going to have is, and this is a conversation the Saints organization can't necessarily have, but that we can certainly have. Understanding how great of a player Chris Olave is, it's worth asking the question, was it worth it, what you gave up to get him? because ultimately what you gave up in the 2 trades was a 1, a 3, a 7, a 1, a 2, a 1, a 3, and a 4. I mean, there were 8 picks that you sent out to essentially get Chris Olave, Trevor Penning, and your 6th-round pick this year, which ended up being Jordan Jackson. 8 picks for those 3 players. And I don't know that I can tell you today that I feel like that was worth it. But Chris Olave is magnificent. But, boy, you gave up an awful lot to get him. Also, I'd be remiss if we didn't give a hat tip to Caden Ellis and Juwan Johnson. Caden Ellis is a guy who looked destined to be a backup / special teams guy, but in the opportunity he has gotten because of the injury to Pete Werner, he has played exceptionally well. Led the team in tackles on Sunday against the Rams. I believe it was 11. He had double-digit tackles in the game. Yeah, he had 11 tackles. Had 1.5 sacks, a tackle for loss, deflected a pass, had 2 quarterback hits. He has been all over the place, which is fantastic to see because, listen, at some point, Demario Davis isn't going to be Demario Davis anymore. And you could see a world where Pete Werner and Caden Ellis are your starting linebackers, and it doesn't look that you feel much more optimistic about that because of the way Ellis has played with the opportunity that he's gotten here. And then also Juwan Johnson. The Saints have been looking for tight end help, and Johnson was willing as an undrafted rookie free agent receiver out of Oregon to switch to tight end, to learn the position, and he's just continued to improve. 3 catches, 47 yards, had the touchdown yesterday. Troutman's a guy that they had a lot invested in, but it really just hasn't materialized in the pitch and catch game for Adam Troutman. Juwan Johnson has used his receiver skills and been a very valuable weapon, so that was also great to see. And the uniforms were phenomenal. So I move that the Saints make these throwbacks their permanent home uniforms, get the helmet color to match the old gold of the numerals in the pants, and now you're cooking with, what do they say? You're cooking with oil? Is that what they say whenever it's really hot? Or cooking with gas? What do they say?
Gas, right?
Now you're cooking with gas. I don't know. I don't cook. But anyway, whatever the saying is, now you're cooking with gas. There you go. It'd be fire. Color rush uniforms for the away games. These throwbacks, but match the helmet gold to the jersey and pant gold. And now you're cooking with gas. There it is. Nailed it. All right, Saints win 27-20 over the Rams. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.